What's up, everybody? This is your boy James. Uh, we are here connected again. We have another really dope episode. This is our third episode this week, which is really good because we really only do one episode a week. But I think this is really amazing. I love what you girls have. I've always been a big fan of just girl groups in general.
Right.
So, obviously when the opportunity came about, I said, okay, let's jump on this. Let's go ahead and knock this out. But,
Yeah.
And it's funny. I don't know if you realize I just started talking to you guys in the middle of the intro too. So, but, at any rate, I really want to introduce these young ladies. I think that they are doing some really, like, honestly, I feel like they're brilliant, in this, in this particular place where music and entertainment is right now. So without going through all of the, just the crazy stuff, trying to talk about how big they are, I'm gonna just go ahead and introduce these girls. These are the MAKO Girls. Welcome, welcome, welcome. First and foremost, I really just want to say thank you. I've been doing media and whatnot for it's been 20 years. So actually 21 this year. But this is exciting to me. Like it's really exciting to connect with the people who are putting together the type of music that I love to listen to. And I mean, I'm a fan of all genres of music, but I won't even say obviously. I just will say I'm a fan of all genres of music, but definitely like hip hop, R&B, pop. What you ladies are putting together and really, organizing and orchestrating for music lovers. I think that is beautiful. It's good to see the unity that you have. Like you caught me instantly when we started talking, and all three of y'all said yes at the same time.
Yeah.
That's it. It sounds cheesy, but that is dope to me because I can tell that even just in that little instance, I can tell that you've had media training and that you've been working at this and like
Yeah.
you've really been trying to put it, get things together, and it shows. It shows in the music, and just it shows in your demeanor, and just coming on to have this conversation. So thank you for taking the time for somebody like me who feels like they just have not made it and they trying to make it, and want to talk to the biggest and the brightest in the industry. I feel like I'm getting that. So
Oh, well, thank you for having me. Right. It's funny. It's funny because he says that and we kind of feel the same way too. Like we're still getting there. So
yeah,
everybody,
it's a journey for all of us.
Yeah.
where you ladies at? Like I mean, I like the background. It seemed like it kind of was set up for you to do the interview and everything. But where you ladies at?
Right now we're being honest. This is actually my bedroom.
Yeah.
I made these little plaques on my wall and stuff
Okay.
with our music.
She got crafty
So,
during
the pandemic.
The pandemic.
So this is what was produced from being in the house for too long.
Okay, but that kind of takes me back to. It takes me back to like my. I'm dating myself, but it takes me back to like my teenage years and like the Word Up magazines and the Right On magazines, and they had the posters
Yeah.
up. And I would put posters up on the wall, and like my mother would be trying to kill me because I had tape and stuff all on the wall.
Everywhere, and then
Paint
we
off
pull the paint off.
Yeah.
We understand y'all. We have our faces too.
Yeah. So I think first and foremost, people who are tuning in and watching this, obviously most of the podcast platforms is going to be audio, but the video I can put up, obviously on YouTube. So I have that up on YouTube, and I'm always thinking kind of bigger. So I was just thinking today, I got to figure out how to get this so that it pops up on the smart TVs and all of that when you or whatever. But tell everybody like how you came together, because obviously this isn't like you're not new to this, and I think that's the misperception that people will have, like when they first hear about you and whatnot. They're gonna say, oh, this is a new group, but your EP, because I know you have another one in the works right now, so your EP dropped in 2016, so 6 years ago. five and a half years ago. So you've been out here and doing it and working hard, and I know you've done over 300 shows and like y'all been working. So like
for years. It's been about 8 years now. We are sisters, so we've been with each other forever. But like starting out, we were inspired by another group, Mindless Behavior, to want to perform. We was already making dances for like parties and like talent shows.
Well, we wanted to take it to the next level, so we started getting together, doing rehearsals, signing contracts. To make
like the big contract that we wrote for the group ourselves to make sure we stayed in line.
We had a writer in the contract as well. Like it was all crazy, but it was definitely Mindless Behavior that like lit the spark in us for us to even be a group in the first place. Then we found a vocal trainer, Marvelous Enterprise, by the name of Mr. James Slaughter. So like we worked with them.
They are amazing,
and we've been doing it since I believe 2013.
2013 is when we started, when the vocal lessons started. We dated off of that because that's when we really was taking the craft seriously and putting the dancing and the singing together, because at first it was just dancing. We just liked having fun, entertaining crowds. But when we wanted to actually get training and like perfect the craft, we started really young, and it's still developing to this time. But that's kind of how we got started. It just was seeing people being able to like make other people happy and pursuing their dreams. So
and then going on tour and seeing different places and stuff.
Traveling, that's what made us like, okay, let's do this.
Okay, so this is kind of a two-sided question. As far as you taking it seriously or feeling as though you were taking it seriously and getting the vocal lessons and what got you to that place where it was like, okay, this is what we got to do. Like we got to start getting vocal lessons and what made you feel that you weren't already taking it seriously?
I feel like starting out, like what made us feel like, okay, this is what we need to do to take it seriously. We was trying to figure out how far we can go as a dance group, or if dancing was just the only thing we wanted to do. And we was realizing that what we were watching was them singing, making music, dancing. So that's kind of where we're like, okay, we need to spice it up. We can't just be dancing. We need to learn how to sing. We was going to consultations, first of all, to even see if we have the ability. But we had the natural ability. We just never developed it and worked on it. So that was our first initial step, was like,
so after
get that down.
I guess the first meeting with Marvelous Enterprise, they're like, remember, y'all have to take this seriously. You got to do the homework. You got to do everything. We're like, yeah, we're down. We're ready to go. Let's do it.
And they don't start working unless you're dedicated. And we were really young, like 10, 12, 14. So they was just, waiting to see if this was something we really wanted to do. And we was always coming back, always, scheduling more sessions every year to keep working on our craft. That summer of 2014 is when we wrote our first single. We did the whole summer trying to write one song because we just needed to have our own music. We was doing a lot of TLC, a lot of
we did TLC and like slightly In Vogue. That's when like we
started a little bit of Destiny's Child. There's a lot of news.
We were just out there, but like we were performing a lot of songs that we were like trained to know, but like we didn't have originally like our own songs music, to perform. And so like to develop more as an artist, we decided to start working and writing our own music. And then that's when we came about with our single Turning Up the Crowd. Originally we wanted it to be like What About Your Friends by TLC, like our own version of it, but like it ended up turning into
you shot my favorites from back when I was a teenager. I'm like, ooh, that was
they're the best.
Yeah.
And I low key was in love with T-Boz. So well, not even low key. Like I was in love with T-Boz. So now I think that's really, really dope. Already I feel like I want to call this conversation or this interview like the blueprint, because I feel like you ladies are like laying down a blueprint for success. Like, how do you make it in this industry, when you suddenly decide that, okay, I really want to do this? And you have so many who they start out like in their adolescent years. So you have, like you mentioned, Destiny's Child, and obviously Beyonce was like a little bitty girl out here performing and singing in her mother's beauty salon and that type of thing. And just all of the other groups, who have been out here too, not just Mindless Behavior, but so many other groups, you know, boy groups, girl groups, like that. A lot of them start kind of in their adolescent years, whereas you were kind of like halfway through. Like,
and
you were kind of like halfway through the adolescent years already when you decided that you wanted to do it. And I think that a lot of young girls or just kids in general, you know, they might get the sense that we can't do this, or how are we going to accomplish this, or we don't have money to get this together and do the demos and do like what kind of gave you that sense that okay, we could do this, we could really pull this off?
I think we had the support for sure from our parents, because they were on board when we was like, we wanted to do this as a group. We found the vocal coach, like they started taking us to these places and actually getting the ball rolling is really was like, okay, yeah, we want to do this. I think over time it became something that we had to like, because we had started doing artist development. So it was not just singing. We was doing exercising, running and singing. And that's when it started getting a little questionable. We was like, we don't know if we want to do this.
You gotta work on facials. You gotta work on stage.
It'll be late night practices, and we'd be in there for like 3 hours. And the first hour running through like all the singing. Then the second hour is like in the facials. And the third hour, like our manager comes in and he's helping like, us with like stage presence and like performing, giving levels to the audience and making sure like to get in their face and stuff like that. It was all really a process. Yeah, so I feel like when we hit the stage and started performing and like receiving feedback from doing it was like that, yes, this is what we want to do. All this behind the scenes work that make us be like, I don't know, it's definitely paying off. Like people are seeing the professionalism, and we liked having that response from audiences when we perform. So that's just what made us keep going for sure.
And we also had each other to boost each other up, because like, one was like, I don't know, I'm not feeling this, or hey, I'm just struggling right now, like I need somebody to talk to. We try to communicate to each other what things do we need to get done, what things, like who needed help with what, like all that stuff.
Or even just trying to encourage each other as well, like we all know it's tough now, but like it's gonna pay off in the end. Or like just push through the day, and like today, like tomorrow will be something else, but let's make sure that we get done what we need to right now, and like focus on only what we have to do in this day. Like don't stress yourself out too much. Like always make sure that we're all like level-headed and on the same page.
I'm glad that you touched on being discouraged. Talk to me about an experience that you feel like you had early on that could have made you not want to do it anymore. Because I know all of the experiences they couldn't have all been good. Like what's one thing, and it doesn't have to be like in the very beginning, but what is one thing that has happened that could have made you say, you know what, let's hang it up. Like I'm not on it no more. I'm not feeling it. But you ultimately found a way to push through it.
I would say it was definitely trying to adjust with like the demand for social media. Like all the time, you always have to constantly make content. And every day it's just like there's something else to do, and it would get tiring at times, or you would see that like you're kind of stagnant in a sense, or like I'm doing this stuff, but like it's going nowhere. It's like not reaching as many people as we wanted to, and that would like be very discouraging at times. But like
that was our struggle for a while too, because we were doing like 3 posts a day every single day, so it was like the demand was like we don't know how to keep up with it, and now it's more relaxed because like we want to give like our personalities and make sure it's something quality that we like. At first it was just making sure that we got it out there, and I think that's what made it very like overwhelming for us, because social media was like a really big deal. Like if you wasn't posting on social media,
post at 6 a.m. in the morning, 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and then around like 9 p.m. at night, like we used to post all the time. It would be very demanding and tiring.
I would say that, and sometimes it would be the numbers, because there would be a lot of places or a lot of things that we probably could have had a chance to do if our numbers were higher. So they're like, oh well, in order to do this, you need this amount of followers, and then when we get that amount of followers,
it increases.
Like
when we first started. When we first started, they were like, they look for artists that have like 5,000 followers. And when we hit that marker, the thing jumped from 5,000 to 10,000, then from 10,000 to 20. And they're like, over 1 million followers, you need to have that to like be considered or like just
taken seriously sometimes.
I think that's dope. And first of all, kudos, like shout out to whoever has like really been working with you ladies. Like y'all got heads on y'all shoulders. Like to the fact that you're even talking about like the social media algorithms and times a day to post, 6 a.m. and 3 p.m. and like at 9 p.m. Like that's dope that you even know that. Like take pride in the fact that you have like taken all of that in and that you know it, because there's so many artists, and I mean we're not even going to talk just about young artists, but there's just so many artists in general who do not know that. Like they're that you're teaching that too right now, like that are checking this out. Right. And I think it's dope because those are the those little things are the things that you need to know to be able to push through. Like it's 10% talent and it's 90% like hustle and grind and
all of marketing, networking, all of that.
Yeah, like you could, and I mean you could look at a lot of these R&B artists out here who in our minds they are considered legends and people who have laid the foundation. And I mean I'm not talking about like the Mary J. Bliges, but there's some really big names out there, of people who have been in this industry and who really have laid the foundation for you girls, and they're not selling because a lot of that stuff they don't know. Like they don't really know a lot of that stuff, and that comes from obviously having people that's doing a lot of that stuff for you in the background. But I think the difference with you ladies is that you have like an impeccable team that's like really pushing you ladies and getting you out there, but then you're learning a lot of this stuff yourself, so where to jump in and what to do and what not to do, and like that really pays it really pays off. It's paying off already just with the music that you ladies have out there. I've had a chance to download quite a bit of it. So I mean, I've downloaded Leverage, and I downloaded the EP, which actually is still playing now. But I downloaded the EP, and you mentioned like you started off in the beginning and you were performing, other people's songs, which I mean, all artists do that in the very beginning. Yeah. So what was that first song that you put together that then it was like, okay, we got our own shit out here now. We could go perform our own song. Like, what was the first song that you put out?
Turn Up the Crowd was our very first single. And that's the one that took so long to write because
it's so long to get back.
Yeah,
it's so long.
Yeah, like the whole process of the creation of Turning Up the Crowd was really just like a whole year's worth.
Yeah, that was like a year process on our one song. We wanted to make sure it was like, I think we were overthinking the process being new to like songwriting. It's just making sure that it told, like back then we were always stressed to make sure our music like tell a story, and we was always big on it having like a message, so we was making sure every line made sense while we was writing.
I was hanging upside down for one of my parts on the verse trying to come up with
some line.
The crazy thing is the final version of the song that is out now wasn't even the original way that it was supposed to be sung. So like we had to fine tune the chorus and everything when we were at vocal lessons, like presenting our vocal coach the song and everything. It was really like a whole process,
a whole change. It was like super fast, and we was like, okay, no, slow it down.
He was trying to teach us how to stay in the process of the music. Yeah. And then after that, we went into the booth, and that was a whole different experience for us because that was our first time in the booth.
Yeah.
I just had a question, and it just went out just like that. Oh, okay.
You got.
I'm like, as you're talking, I'm listening to the, the things that you're saying, and already it's popping in my mind the things that you clearly have learned from your predecessors. So, the other groups, be they boy bands or girl groups, like, I think I can see a number of things already that you have learned from these groups, and then things that you've learned that these groups were not doing in the very beginning when they got out. You touched on songwriting, which, I think is very important out here, especially when you're talking longevity and being able to continuously make money off of your music. All three of you are writing, correct?
Yes.
What was that process like? And I know you spoke about, obviously, that first song taken a year because you were kind of overthinking it and whatnot. But
yeah,
what was that process like? You know, really getting your groove, you know, to continue writing songs that people obviously were going to be able to take to and gravitate to and, you know, really enjoy.
I know for the writing process for us, it became easier because we had a period where we were writing a lot of songs with the rap cadence, or we were rapping just straight, and writing a rap was a lot easier than a singing song. So it became something where we was popping out songs a lot faster, and we'll work and collaborate with other people to like create the chorus because we wanted help with the melody. I know it's still a process now because we collaborate with other writers as well. We also get like a chance to create on it. Like if somebody present us a song, we still can change what we want and tweak it here and there, so we can still be a part of the process. But I know now it's just
I know really definitely the beat has to like be something that we can hear a melody. Like if we listen to a beat, we have to listen for a melody within the beat so that it can make it easier for us to find it and then create a chorus around it and then keep that same kind of cadence and like the verses and stuff. So really now it's just whatever beat speaks to us, that's the one that we like pick to write a song to.
And each person have their own writing
style.
And preference or how they would write a song. And it also like we will also try to come up with a topic. So it'll be like, okay, the topic is partying. So like I will go and either write a few words down, come back to it because I'll get overwhelmed with writing, and then I'm like, you know what, that's a good word, and I'll start writing down, and I'll keep going from there.
Or even like I know for sure Mimi will write something that will be for her verse, but it sounds so good, so we like make it a chorus. So like sometimes you could be writing something and you would think it's going to be for a verse, but then it ends up being the chorus of the song. Because I think that's what happened with our single Day One. Mimi was writing a verse the chorus of the song was originally supposed to be her verse, but like it was so catchy, we were like, no, that has to be the chorus.
And now we're learning the process of like recording ourselves. So the process is still changing. So now we're like using Pro Tools to actually keep the melodies that we come up with, even if we're not going to use it, just in case we like something in there, or just throwing stuff on it so we can hear how it sounds. I know that right now is making the process a lot easier.
Because it used to be cool. We would be thinking, you know, everything is kind of set in stone sometimes, or we'll be stuck with like a certain topic. We're like, we want to change it up. We want something different. So we'll either try to reach out to writers, or writers will reach out to us, and we'll like to think like, yes, that's what we wanted to say.
Something different, right?
Do you run into issues where, well, I don't want to write about what you're writing about, or I don't like that topic, or...
I think we had one incident like that because like, love song.
Oh yeah, that's when we were younger.
She was like, love song. I'm not here for it yet. I don't relate to it. So we had to we wrote songs mainly either what we've seen or what we've experienced ourselves, you know, like, because we were still going to public school. So we were seeing a lot of stuff, and that was something we could bring back to actually write about. And now that we're getting older, we have new things that we want to talk about. So we're trying now to make sure that our music is very relatable, because it was a lot about our grind, a lot about working hard and the music. And some people can't connect with that because they're not in this space. So we wanted to make sure that we was making music for our age group, our demographic, and that what they can connect to as well. And we like a lot of upbeat, like fun music. And we also want something where they could be like, I'm feeling her on that one. Like that's the type of music we like to switch it up all the time. So topics vary. We'll throw it out there. If everybody's down with it, we'll just start writing on it. We want to keep changing it up. So I don't think we have many issues where we're like, I don't want to talk about that.
Right. Are you still in public school, or?
I'm in college. Kena has finished college.
Graduated college.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now, see, that's the beauty of youth, like the fountain of youth. I didn't realize I didn't realize you was college.
Oh yeah. I just had a birthday too, so I'm like getting up there in age. I'm just 21, but you know
but I think that's dope though. So I was getting at, you know, just the fact that, you know, some of the things that you're talking about, I can see that you are learning from, some of the people that came before you. And I mean, I definitely, like, in a good way, I can definitely see, you know, some of the Destiny's Child in you. I can see some of the TLC in you. I can see some of, you know, groups like what was it? Natina Reed and Black Left Eyes group. You know, when they were out, and you know, a lot of the people who have come before you, but that's in a good way though. I think that you've been able to, you know, really take from these groups that came before you and kind of blend all of that into, you know, making your own persona. And then you speak, you know, definitely speaking on the writing piece of it, I definitely can see, you know, how that's relatable to like the Destiny's Child story. I think of a lot of stuff that Escape went through and that Candy went through just in terms of, you know, building her brand and writing for people and, you know, having that ability to go in and actually change things up if you don't like what's being presented to you and that type of thing. What do you feel like you have learned from groups even further back, like the Supremes, or you know, like the, you know, even the solo artists like the Tina Turners and the Natalie Coles and, you know, those people who have been out? What do you feel like you've learned from them?
Synchronization. I know for sure it was all about being one, sounding like one, and I feel like that's something we still want to continue to work on, is being very precise, very like you can't just spot out who's who. You want to make sure, like when it comes to harmonies and singing, that's what we want to bring to the table.
Yeah, I would say with harmonies as well, the blending of it, to making it sound like just beautiful.
And then like Tina Turner or anybody in that era with performance in general is just, they make it come to life. And that's what we want to actually,
the feeling that they have in their performances when they do their
you feel songs, it like even if they haven't been through it, because they're conveying that to you, and that's what we want to make sure that you, when we performing anything like showmanship, bringing it to the table, we want it to come out believable, or for you to actually connect with what we're presenting to you. So I feel like those two for sure, because when we hit a stage, people are like, wow, like you guys really put on a show. Like I can connect with you more. I feel like they connect with us a lot more when we're performing live. And then when it comes to harmonies, we've started to work a lot better with getting ourselves to like find each other and not like, you know, struggling a little bit with harmonies. It's getting better, but I feel like we can actually start like zoning in where we need to be and getting to sound like one person.
What do you feel like? What is the impact or what is the mark that you feel like you want to make as a trio? Like looking at all of the groups that have come before you, what do you feel it is that they may not have had the opportunity to do that you feel like as the MAKO Girls you want to be able to do this?
I feel like really it's like breaking the stereotype that people have like towards girl groups, because that also, that stereotype really affects like how we are, like just us in general, is because people will see a girl group and they're like thinking, oh, they're gonna disband or something's gonna happen, like they're gonna fall apart. It's really just like we want to show that we Black women, that our sisters can work together and like create something that everyone in the world can enjoy and listen to. We can all have fun with it. There is no leader, like we can all be equal in the group and do stuff effectively and have our opinions and stuff in it as well.
Even with like working on solo projects, it doesn't really mean that we're we're breaking up. It's just like, okay, somebody has a certain interest in either a song or an act or whatever the case may be, and they would want to act on that, and that will still be a part of MAKO Girls,
right? I feel like that is. I was going to say you. I feel like that's big. Oh, and I was trying to get it to come back to me. And like our relationship as sisters, I feel like that's something that we want to also like bring to the table with being a group. Is like they get to see that sister relationship, like real sisters, like how it's going, like how we really are backstage, how we communicate with each other. And I feel like that will inspire other girls or other families just in general when we you know, become legends.
Now, I think that's dope. And, you know, to be able to show that, you know, you can, like, even in terms of doing solo projects and whatnot, like, you can go and do other projects and you can do things alone and then still be able to bring it back together. And, you know, obviously I look at groups like Destiny's Child, which is really good because they were kind of marred in the beginning, obviously, by, you know, just the troubles that they had in the group and the lineup switches. But then once they actually became a trio and, you know, did their projects and then they went off to do whatnot, I think the beauty is that they've been able to show exactly what you're saying, is that we can do our solo projects, and then we can come together, and we can still do stuff even when people think that, oh, we might be feuding or we might not really be together. And then you look at when Beyonce did the Coachella, and they all did the Destiny's Child set, in the midst of it and whatnot. I think that that's good, and I think it's good for people to be able to see that. And again, just that overall unity, being able to come together and really work together and really enjoy each other. I think that's good, and I think that definitely comes across and reads to the audience as well. So I think that is probably why you're so successful.
Thank you.
So now let's talk new music, because of course Leverage was released. Actually, it's been a year now because it came out like this time last year or January last year.
Right.
So where are we in terms of new music, the new EP? Like, what's kind of the plan for 2022?
Oh, so 2022, we're going to be dropping a lot of songs this year. A lot of from the MAKO Girls. I know most definitely in March, we will be releasing a new single called Ain't Thinking About You. And along with that, music video will be dropping the same month as well. So y'all got to get ready for that.
There's going to be a lot of content following that one single. And then after that, we're getting ready to release our EP called Levels to This. So we're already really excited to drop new music because we've been working on it for so long. And we're still creating to this day, because we want to keep our catalog growing while we're releasing music for people and finding what they actually like and gravitate to, and just continuously making more music. I know for sure we want to add in our Caribbean background into the mix, and having a song that kind of shows that and gets people to know that, oh, okay, I see the West Indian in them, bringing that to the table.
I think that's cool. Working with people, like, are there people that you feel like you want to work with at this stage of the game or at this stage of your career?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. We have like a list of people we got to contact soon. Like, we have some people that's been like following us, and we've been supporting each other as artists, and we're like, oh yeah, we need to collab. I feel like that would actually work out. There's an artist called Ayanis. She's really dope, has like the same kind of energy that we bring to the table, I feel like. So it would be great to do a project with her. There's other artists that we came across
on TikTok or Instagram that we would love to either work with, either writing or collaborating on a song.
Yeah, I know girl group wise, I think it would be really dope to do a collab with another girl group. So we've been seeing a lot of them. We sometimes, I know sometimes they see us or we see them on TikTok, and we'll show love on our page, on each other's pages. So that way something like that can happen in the future. But this year we're definitely striving for more collabs, whether it's writers, producers, or other groups or artists.
Right. Do you find it really difficult to make to that next level, being there in Atlanta where there's so many artists and so many people doing music, and I'm like, it's so much music and entertainment out there, where one would think that, okay, this is where music is at, so I need to be here. But then when you get there, it's like being a little fish in a big ocean.
Yeah, I would say for me personally, I would think that it would be more intimidating, because we'll hear something that be so hot, we're like, how can we top that? Or at least be on the same energy, or at least match it. Yeah. Because we'll overthink sometimes, and we'll try to match something. It will probably add in something or throw in something that doesn't really need to be thrown in. It'll be simple. And like certain songs, like in Atlanta, they're very simple. And we're like,
we try to take it up a notch, and it doesn't need it sometimes. I think it's just being here in Atlanta, knowing that it's so many people. Even though it's still a lot, I think we've learned to, like, even though it's a lot of people, we learn to weed out like who has your best intentions, or who are people you can work with here in Atlanta. It'll be great to like go out and work with other people in different places, especially LA, because we've been hearing that we give off that kind of fun vibe there. So we've never got to go over there and see what they feel about it. But here in Atlanta, it's just making sure you're working with the right people. Even though it's a lot, you have to really get with the right people for it to become effective, and it not seem like you're in like a pool of a lot of artists. And I feel like we bring something new to the table, and like there's not that many girl groups like coming out in Atlanta, I would say right now, that we know of. So we feel like that's what makes us like stand out, even if we go somewhere, even if it's a lot of other artists, the music that we bring or the way we perform or us just being a girl group is something that makes us like stand out. So I don't know if it's that much more difficult here in Atlanta for that reason.
Okay. If there were anything, if it was just one thing that you could change about your journey over the last 8 years, what would that be?
Picking a different stage name.
Right? Really?
No. Hairstyles.
Hairstyles for sure.
Yeah, hairstyles. Because initially when we were starting out, really the marketing aspect behind it was like make sure you get like bright colorful hair and stuff, but like be careful what bright colorful hair you choose, and then our older hairstyles were really, they weren't that good.
No,
initially.
I was gonna say dang, that was like so funny that I train of thought.
You need me to go?
Go ahead, you go. I'm gonna think about it. I had my answer too.
I would say I don't know. I don't think I would change anything besides like certain clothes.
I got it now.
Certain clothes, maybe I wasn't ready for certain clothes or certain hairstyles. But other than that, nothing really.
I got it now. Okay. Okay. So my thing would be for us to like when something was going good, don't like sit back on it because a lot of times we'll have a moment where it's like picking up really good and then we'll be like, okay.
And you kind of relax a little bit.
And then, you know, it starts to back down. You got to keep rebuilding that momentum. Right. So if we like, you know, have it started going and we keep it going, I feel like we would go further than when we would be like, okay, we got it, you know, chill back. Yeah. So that's something we're definitely changing and like want to keep working hard on.
Yeah.
Okay. So March, we are looking at March kind of for, you know, new things to kick off, new music to start coming, and then it's kind of full force from there. For people who want to keep up with you, to you know, obviously know what you have going on, what are shows looking like? Are you doing shows? I mean, obviously, given the pandemic and
the shows have been very scarce for us because of the pandemic. We've done a lot of virtual performances.
I know for sure with the release of Every Single Ain't Thinking About You, we will be doing a live performance on our YouTube channel and on all of our other social media platforms. So do look forward to that in March or early April.
Yeah, so new shows will be mostly on.
And then whatever pops up, we'll definitely be updating in our social media. All of it. You can follow us on all platforms: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok at MAKO Girls.
Okay. Any kind of final thoughts or anything that you really wanted to get out there with the conversation today?
Let's see.
I know that we are on the road to 1 million on TikTok. We finally reached 900,000. So this is hopefully the month that we push over the edge. We've been getting a lot of support from a lot of different pages on Instagram just from one video going viral lately. So I would say we want to like thank all of our supporters for getting us this far, and we got one more hump to do, and then we're in that million, and then we just keep going from there. So I just wanted to mention that because that was a big step for us, and I'm really excited, and so much more to come when it comes to social media and like being an influencer, I would say.
We also want to thank, you know, the supporters and the people who had our backs since day one. Everybody who helped us get here and helped us throughout the journey. Like, we really appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you for having us here.
Listen, I appreciate this so much. How often do you kind of get together on platforms and like actually talk to the fans and that sort of thing?
I would say we get on there pretty often, but I know like when we have our moments where it's like things going on, we'll tend to not be on there so much. So a lot of times we'll come in, like if we have an interview, right after the interview, we'll just go and check in and be like, hey, what's up? Or if we're getting ready, we'll go on live and chat with the people and say what's up to them.
It's something that we are trying to work on a little bit because we've been slacking.
We used to be like reserved where we didn't want to show them like our personal lives so much, but we realized like that's the only way they're going to kind of connect is if you bring them into your world. So now we're like getting used to trying to go live when we maybe having fun or something and they want to see that side, or maybe if we're discussing something music wise and we feel like they should see this process, or we're in rehearsal and kind of see how that goes. So going live, we do that pretty frequently, but I know when things go crazy, it'd be like a little halt there, and then we got to bring it back to the social media.
I've been thinking of some ideas just in terms of, doing some more like virtual stuff. Given the pandemic, and we don't really know which way things are going to go, and obviously the new variants are coming. So I'm just kind of thinking of some things, some opportunities, and I may put something together. So I'm gonna talk to kind of the powers that be, and because I know with this software that we're using tonight, just the same way that you and I are, or that you ladies and I are sitting here talking and we're looking at each other and whatnot, we can actually have like fans, or we can have have other people that are kind of in this as well, and they'll have the ability to and actually ask questions, or they come up on video and you can actually see them, they see you, and that sort of thing. So I think that may be something cool to do, something different to do, just with this virtual stuff going on, just to kind of connect you with more fans and whatnot, and give them the sense that they're talking to their favorite artists. But I appreciate you ladies. Just as I was saying in the very beginning, I think that this was a dope opportunity. I jump at any chance that I get to interview somebody, and even for as long as I've been doing it, like I love being able to connect with the artist and kind of get into their minds and see what's going on. I usually don't have like the I guess the typical questions. Like I'll put a handful of questions together, I guess, and just in case they're not talkative, or they're not, that they don't necessarily communicate very well. I kind of got something to go off of. But this was especially dope tonight because you ladies are articulate. Like, you smart and you articulate, and like a lot of the questions that a lot of the stuff that we talked about tonight, it really was just stuff that kind of came off the top of the head, just from stuff that you were already saying. I think it's dope. Like, to me, that makes for a better interview, and it's more of a conversation as opposed to me writing down, well, how did you get started? And,
Great answer.
Okay, you had great questions. Like,
So I appreciate you ladies. I definitely want to do this again, and I will be kind of brainstorming on how we can maybe the next time we can kind of bring some of the viewers or the fans in on it too. Even if it's like 5 to 10 people or something like that. It don't have to be 200 people on there listening. Or but yeah, just to kind of give some people a chance to be able to talk to you and that sort of thing, I think is really dope. But thank you so much. This will actually go live. I actually will have it up tonight. Just because I like to get, I really, because I'm doing so much stuff, I kind of like to get it all out the way. So like, once I record it, I like to just get it uploaded and, and get it on the platform. So probably in the next hour, it looks like the audio video is actually still uploading. So once the upload is done, which should probably be like within the next half an hour, I'll get it all added on, Spotify, Apple, iHeart. People will be able to listen pretty much almost immediately. And then video, I just need to get that downloaded and edited and all that stuff, and I can get that added on YouTube. And yeah, so I think that's it. But thank you, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, for sure.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.